Well, of course, let's bring in our guest, Andrew Randa, who joins us all the way from Jos in Plateau State. Is a sport journalist, and of course, he joins us on the program. Good evening to you, Andrew. Good to see you on TVC Sport Desk.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. Always a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you join us as well. Well, Andrew, let's start from 32 years after the departure of Samuel Okwaraji in that World Cup qualifier. I saw some of the images you posted online today in memory of the late footballer. For many young Nigerians who may not really understand why we still celebrate this man 32 years after, take us down memory lane. What happened on that day at the Lagos National Stadium in Surulere?
It was a day that you will love to forget in a hurry. That's the first time in ever watching a football game and seeing somebody slump in that manner. So at the National Stadium, game was going on, everything was good, and then all of a sudden he fell. Now, I thought maybe there was a collusion or whatever from maybe... the thing is, the sad part about it is he was taken out of the pitch, and then we thought that after the game, news filtered in that Samuel Okwaraji had passed on. It was a really, really sad moment. And I remember him, 1987, he was a student in Rome. He elected to pay his way to complete goal against Cameroon at the 1988 Nations Cup. Wonderful goal. And, so there's a very, very good memory about Sam. He was a beautiful person, both on and off the pitch. I managed to speak to late Stephen Keshi about him, and everybody in that particular squad, Friday Ekpo, a few of those guys had some very, very interesting things and very nice things to say about Sam Okwaraji. So it's a sad one for Nigeria, and today we remember him. And like I put it up on Twitter and Instagram, I said the streets will not forget Sam Okwaraji.
Beyond the sad story, the sad narrative, many times when we talk about Sam Okwaraji, we only remember him because of that tragic death. Let's talk about his time with the Super Eagles. How much of an impact did he make with the Super Eagles during his days? He is a midfielder. He was one of the first few Nigerian players who played abroad. What were the legacies that Samuel Okwaraji had in the colours of Nigeria, apart from the death?
I remember when my dad didn't want me to play football, and I told him, Dad, listen, this guy that you're hyping, this number 8, is actually a lawyer or a law student, and he also plays football. So why won't you allow me to play football? I promise to, read my books, be a good student, just like Sam Okwaraji. So, from a personal level, that was how I looked at him. And for a very long time, I always wanted to keep my hair. You also see how my hair looks like now. Influenced me. In the national team with the Super Eagles, or the Green Eagles as of then. Very good guy. Everybody loved him. One of the players that would travel to Nigeria without waiting for his tickets. He buys everything himself, was very selfless, always tried to help other teammates, even to get teams abroad. When he goes back to Italy and then at Germany, the Hamburger, he normally talks to the teams to see if they can take Nigerian players. So he was more or less like a brother, but above all, he was a fantastic. And from a personal angle, I felt his life resonated with me. First of all, obviously for the hairstyle, and then, always wanted to be a footballer back in the day too. And, my dad was telling me, you have to go to school. I was telling my dad, I said, listen, Sam Okwaraji is a brilliant student, a great student, and a brilliant footballer. I can be like him. And then, at that point, my dad allowed me to play football. So, from a personal perspective, he's been a brilliant person. And from the Nigerian angle, supremely talented footballer who I thought came before his time, but unfortunately, death took him away.
Well, of course, we would love to hear from you, Andrew Randa, but of course, the network is not just good enough for us to continue the conversation. All the same, thank you for joining us on the program today, Andrew Randa. Thank you for your insight on the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, of course, we'll still continue our conversation around Nigerian football, but we'll take a break now. I'll be back with more. Stay with TVC News.